Joining me in the studio today is local singer-songwriter Griff. Welcome back, in fact.
Yeah, good afternoon. Great to be back. Thank you.
Excellent.
Saturday this time.
Yeah, what we like to find out from our guests, as I'm sure you remember from the last time you were here, is how you got into starting to make music rather than just listen to it. So what was it in your case? Was it a musical household when you were growing up, or...?
Not particularly. I've always loved pop music and grown up alongside and listening to Mum used to have musicals and things like that, especially West Side Story. But my friend his dad was a musician, and he had a guitar hanging around his house, who lived opposite. And I think I started playing with that, exploring it, working out the chord bits. And then I think the big moment in my life, in one sense, it was, I remember clearly John Lennon getting shot, and that sort of provoked my interest in the Beatles. Obviously, they'd always been there and around, but I think my own came from there. And got a Beatles songbook, taught myself how to play, looking at all the chord charts and you know, the songcraft of the Beatles. Still, you know, when we talk about influences later on, permeates through a lot of the songs, I think. And yeah, I think that was the big impetus. I've always played then, but it's just then other things have got in the way in between of growing up and family and jobs and things.
All the usual stuff.
All the usual stuff. But you know, good to get back out again 4 or 5 years ago on the local scene and start playing live in pubs and open mic nights and things like that.
Indeed. In fact, Lucy, who can't be with us today, saw you play live in the Clarendon Arms, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a great night, the Weird Wednesdays. Yeah, and probably it's on this Wednesday as well. It's on every Wednesday.
Well, we can have a chat about that in the final part of the show. You're going to do 4 songs for us. You're going to do all of your own.
Yes.
You're going to do You Never Think You Want Me. Tell us a bit about You Never Think You Want Me.
It's not really based on anything real, as some songs aren't. Some of the other ones have got more of a story, but it's really about the realisation that you're at the end of a relationship and that sort of thing, really. It's a classic songwriters one.
They're always about relationships you can't have, relationships that you have had, relationships you'd like to have, and all of that, aren't they?
Yeah.
It's the theme that runs through a lot of songs. Okay, anything we need to know about it other than what you've told us?
No, I'll just launch into it if you're happy.
Okay, so it's my special guest Griff with You Never Think You Want Me.
On the shed past of our lives, I feel the ridges of the scars where our love was torn. They still remind me that we had something so real. It seems that I could reach out and touch it. It comes as no surprise that I should be the one here left standing. I should have seen it coming, but when it struck me I was unaware. I couldn't understand why I was picked on. I call you, but you never hear me. You never see me, you never seem to want me. I dream you, but you never wake me. You never shake me, you never seem to want me. I can't believe it tried so hard to pretend that you could have cared. I should have seen the signals. But when you blindly flail and kindly fail, you tend to see the good points instead of all the failures. I call you, but you never hear me. You never see me, you never seem to want me. I dream you, but you never wake me. You never shake me, you never seem to want me. As I run my fingers on the shared past of our lives, I feel the ridges of the scars where our love was torn. They still remind me that we had something so real. It seems that I could reach out and touch it. I call you, but you never hear me. You never see me, you never seem to want me. I dream you, but you never wake me. You never shake me, you never seem to want me.
lovely sustain on that. A bit of reverb on the end of it. That was really excellent as well. I like the change of pace in that song as well.
Yeah.
Really good. Excellent.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, we'll have another one from Griff in a moment or two. Joining me live in the studio, I've got Griff. We've had one song off him. Going to have another one called Ether in a minute, but not before. We've asked him about influences. Now, you mentioned the Beatles, which is good because let's get that out there. Not that anything wrong with it, but, you know, they pervade everything, don't they? Yeah. So what else?
I think then I went more into the my own scene, I suppose, when I was growing up in the 80s, which, like the Smiths, R.E.M., but loved things like David Bowie, Elvis Costello, The Jam.
The great thing about David Bowie was if you didn't like what he was doing at the moment, you wait 6 months and he's doing something else entirely different.
Yeah. I'm very much the hunky-dory Spiders from Mars era is my favourite, that sort of one, I suppose. But then things like The Jam and Weller through the Style Council and into his solo stuff. He played an amazing concert at the Civic last year, went to.
Jam's interesting because obviously it's a very driving beat and very, very loud and quite short as well. Yeah.
I think the next song I'm going to play actually is probably quite close to that, actually. But people like Terry Hall, who was in the Specials and Colourfield and solo stuff, and Paul Heaton I love as well. You know, he's worked with the House Martins, Beautiful South, and solo stuff as well. He does. So it's those sort of ones, really. Yeah.
Okay, going to do a song called Ether.
Yeah.
Tell us what we need to know about Ether.
So this one's a bit of a change of style from my old normal one. So this is a bit more quiet, reflective finger-picking one. The title and the song is sort of based a little bit on a poem. Not trying to sound too pretentious, but a T.S. Eliot poem. But it's about trying to evoke sort of two lovers fleeing through the street in a smoggy town sort of thing.
Okay.
I'm trying to be doing a bit of Johnny Marr or Bert Jansch inspired Johnny Marr, finger picking as best as I can, which I'm not very good at. But
okay, so with that great introduction, with his own song Ether, it's my special guest Griff.
Let us go now, you and I. When the evening is spread out against the sky, running down half-deserted streets, slipping past dark, muttering retreats. I catch your smile in the neon light, reflected in the puddles of this moonless night. Cloaking ourselves like a pair of spies, shielding ourselves from the window's prying eyes. You hold my hand and my spirit soar. I pledge my love, but you give so much more. Wish this night could last eternity, running hand in hand through history. I catch your smile in the neon light, reflected in the puddles of this moonless night. Cloaking ourselves like a pair of spies, shielding ourselves from the window's prying eyes. All's not lost and all's not won. When two lovers' enchantment becomes as one. The easiest part of this story to tell is how I fell completely under your spell. I catch your smile in the neon light, reflected in the puddles of this moonless night, cloaking ourselves like a pair of spies, shielding ourselves from the window's prying eyes.
Excellent, thank you very much indeed. That's our special guest Griff with his song Ether. More from him in a moment or two. That will be after these and a track from The Other Half. It's called The Other Half and it has a connection because my guest today actually wrote it. More from them in a minute.
It's all about you, Black Country Radio. You have always been there to comfort me. You stand so tall, and you're so small, but you have always been with me all along. You're the other half of the sky. I don't have to try. Oh, oh, oh. You're the other half of my world. You lift me up. You fill my cup. You have always been around when I'm in need. Then we stand proud. You have never been the one to walk away. You're the other half of the sky. You're the reason I don't have to try. Oh, oh, oh. You're the other half of my world. You are my shield. You are my world. You have always been there to comfort me. You're the other half of the sky. You're the reason I don't have to try. Oh, oh, oh. You're the other half of my world, of my world, of my world.
The Other Half, they were our guests on the 19th of January, and that was the song The Other Half. And guess what? Who wrote that then, Griff?
I did, yeah.
Excellent.
I wrote it to them as a present for, they took me and my wife, Andrea, who's hopefully listening, hi.
Hi, Andrea.
To see Elvis Costello at the Civic Hall at the tail end of last year, and we went with them, and they said, write us a song as a sort of thank you. And
it's in exchange for the tickets, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
I remember the story. Excellent. So that's Griff, our guest. So he's here to perform four songs, but he's actually had 5 of his songs played on the show, which is great stuff. As you know, at this point of the show, we like to ask our guests what they do about songwriting. So when a song comes to you, when you're writing a song or trying to write a song, does it start as words or does it start as chords or both?
Nearly always lyrics with me. I think because what I find is lyrics come at odd times. You know, I can be sat in a busy pub on an open mic and I've written a whole song, written the lyrics of a whole song, which then need to be, put to music. Driving home, the other half, one we just played, I was driving home the one day, and because they're called the other half, that line came to me, the other half of the sky, which is from a woman. It's said at the start of Woman by John Lennon.
It is.
The little phrase. And I thought, that's a good hook for a song. And I couldn't find that it had been used in a song before. So I wrote the sort of song around that. And it sort of evolved from that. But the lyrics sort of came first. And then it was trying to find a appropriate sort of music to it. So it's things like films set me off. I've got a song called Rosebud, inspired by Citizen Kane, about memory and nostalgia, that sort of thing. I've got... a song where I open with I'll see the moon for you, which comes from It's a Wonderful Life. And it's just little lines like that, or something I'll read in a book. Coming Up for Air is a song of mine, which was from a George Orwell book. Kafka's Doll I've done as well. And the last song I'm going to play today was a bizarre one, which came from a painting, actually. So I'll talk about that one later on.
Okay.
It's things like that. I mean, this song, Drinking Class Hero, it's a pun obviously on Working Class Hero by John Lennon, but it's a sort of pseudo-political song. I'm not really that political, a bit tongue-in-cheek really, but it's got a bit of a quote from Oscar Wilde in it. It's got a bit of Bob Dylan in there, a bit of XTC, and quite a few other things as well.
So, listeners, please try and spot those quotes. That's the main thing. You've almost answered the other question we like to ask people, and that is, you said, with this song, the other half song, you've had a song, at least once, almost the whole thing pop into your head, almost fully formed.
It doesn't pop into head, perhaps fully formed, but
the core of it.
It comes out pretty much as a stream, fairly quick, and I often find that I can do that more so than if I was sat down at a desk with no distraction. I find it easier to do when I'm actually almost in an environment where there's other things going on. So
you find it easier to write a song when you're not trying to write a song?
Yeah.
Because some people have said, they've had to do that extra song for an album, or a mate's asked them for a charity song or something like that, and they've got like 24 hours to write it, and they're just sitting there, and nothing's coming.
Yeah. Well, I did a Christmas song for Next Door Bar in Albrighton last year. And again, they set the seed of the idea at the start of the open mic. And then by the end of the open mic, I went up to the host and said, I don't want to take over, but I think I've written the whole song here, put some music to it the next day. And they recorded it as their Christmas song. I think just having that little challenge of the seed given me as a starter point. And then I can not write to order, but it sort of evolved from that.
Okay. So, tell us what we need to know. You already told us a little bit about it, but tell us what we need to know about Drinking Class Hero.
It's a little bit of a tongue-in-cheek political one, but there is a bit about the pyramid of the capitalist system, if you want to talk about that. The working class upholding all the betters, as it were, or the other people that's on there. But then I always mix it with a bit of tongue-in-cheek with the work is the curse of the drinking classes, which is a classic Oscar Wilde quote. And this one, it always seems to go down when I play in the pub. They often raise their glasses when I sing it as well. So it's quite a good one.
Oh, excellent. So with his own song, Drinking Class Hero, is my special guest, Griff.
Thank you.
Preachers fool you, the armed forces shoot at you while the rich, they eat for you. You think you're free to do as you please, you think you're ready to get up off your knees. All together raise your glasses, work is the curse of the drinking classes. The adverts lie to you, your parents would die for you. Teachers tried to school you, work makes a slave of you. You think you're free to do as you please. You think you're ready to get up off your knees. Altogether raise your glasses. Work is the curse of the drinking classes. You know the world is football shaped, so I can kick it in the face. Don't conform to what you think they want. We're all in this together when it suits them to be. You think you're free to do as you please. You think you're ready to get up off your knees. All together raise your glasses. Work is the curse of the drinking classes. Fakers let you down, make you run around. Your world is full of strife. Get a dog if you want a friend for life. Salute the crowd of England, bow down to the hoi polloi. Don't follow leaders, they're as authentic as a ploughman's lunch. You think you're free to do as you please. You think you're ready to get up off your knees. All together raise your glasses. Work is the curse of the drinking classes. You think you're free to do as you please. You think you're ready to get up off your knees. All together raise your glasses. Work is the curse of the drinking classes. Drinking class hero is something to be.
Excellent, thank you very much. Nice little homage at the end there. I like that one very much indeed. Thank you very much indeed. Griff, my special guest with his song Drinking Class Hero. We've got one more from him in a moment. It's my guest this afternoon has been Griff. We're going to have another song from him, then a quick word with him. It's called Tonight We Make History, P.S. I Can't Be There. Quite a long title. Anything else we need to know about it?
No, it's a piece of art. There's an artist who does fake penguin book artworks.
Oh, yes.
And he uses the titles with them. They're usually something a little bit wry or amusing or a statement of some kind.
Yeah.
And it just caught my eye. I think I don't know where I saw it, but it caught my eye, and I thought I'm going to make a song out of that.
Make a song out of that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all we need to know about it. So when you're ready, take it away. It's Griff with Tonight We Make History, P.S. I Can't Be There.
Eternity was in our lips and eyes, all the world just passing by. He said I thought too much, I said you should look not touch. Heaven knows I should feel joy. Felt the same since man to boy. Know me so well since rebirth, to when I'm returning back to earth. Tonight we make history, P.S. I can't be there, not until I've named all the stars. Nothing really dies, nothing really leaves, not until we've named all the stars. Sorrow breeds the saddest songs, and your love can right all wrongs. Now's the time to change for good. Today's the day I think we should. Our life is but a stormy night. You can't relent without a fight. Hold me tight, too tight to breathe. will outlast our time on earth. Tonight we make history, P.S. I can't be there. Not until we've named all the stars. Nothing really dies, nothing really leaves. Not until we've named all the stars. Tonight we make history, P.S. I can't be there. Not until we've named all the stars. Nothing really dies, nothing really leaves. Not until we've named all the stars.
Thank you.
Excellent, thank you very much indeed. That's my special guest, Griff, with his song, quite a long title as well. It's Tonight We Make History, in brackets, P.S. I Can't Be There. Fantastic, thank you very much for coming along.
No, thank you.
Is there any way that anybody can catch you playing with any regularity?
Yes.
Because obviously Lucy saw you, Lucy, my producer, saw you at Clarendon.
Yes.
Yes.
Totally plugged into the open mic scene across Walls, Black Country and further afield.
How is that now picking up sort of post-COVID? I mean, we're obviously a year or two down the line.
They're packed out. Some are even booking up, and you're struggling to get a turn up in place a lot sometimes, because they are really, really popular.
That's good news.
And they're on almost every night of the week, up to the weekend.
And have we still all the venues that we used to have? We still got them, have we? Or we lost a few?
There's a couple of pubs closed, but there's a lot of these new smaller ale bars opening, on the high streets.
In
like converted
old shops.
And they're putting on open mics often on a Sunday or an evening, and also having live music as well at the weekend. So they're really good. I've got one sort of concert sort of gig planned, which is Loop Fest Shrewsbury. That's in May. There's a whole weekend of music across Shrewsbury, around all the pubs around there, and I'm playing on the Saturday at the Unitarian Church. But no, I'm not doing a sermon, but just playing there. But then this week, at the moment, I'm down in the Retreat in Bewdley tomorrow, planning to go to the Mount Tavern, Tetnall Road, Wolverhampton on Tuesday, probably the Clarendon on Wednesday, and the Wallheath Tavern on Thursday. So I'm all out this week. If anyone wants to come and see me and say hello, or if they've heard this.
Have you got a social media site or a website where people can find out about these things?
It's called Griff, or if you search, there is a few Griffs about. So if you type in Griffocaster, a bit like the Telecaster, like the guitar, Griffocaster, it'll find you, because that's the name of the site underneath, and there's an Instagram site as well. But yeah, please, any more followers, that'd be great.
Okay.
And
and have you recorded? Have you got any plans to record?
I have. I've recorded one album ages ago, and I'm halfway through another album, which has taken me ages because of work commitments, which I haven't quite got at the moment. So I've just been sorting out my home studio, and even bought a new computer for it. So I'm in the process of just setting up, and hope then I'll complete that album, and send you across some tracks. Hopefully you can perhaps play.
And you can come in and talk about them.
And talk
be
about
absolutely fantastic.
Yep.
Griff, thank you very much indeed. We're going to do what we do.
Thank you.